should be live. We should be going well. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second ever Wayne's World episode 2. I'm sorry I haven't gone or came out with or did any of these for a really long time. For like a couple weeks now because a lot's been going on in my life, and there's been some crazy things going on, and I don't exactly have the biggest of time to go and do all this right now. So I said I was going to make a schedule of doing this like every Saturday or every weekend, and I'm going to try and do that as much as I can, because being this interactive with you guys is really helping me, and I like helping you. And that is the purpose of this channel. That is the purpose of me doing this. Doesn't matter if I get one viewer, one person watching. If I can even help one person get better at the gym, or one person get closer or be better with God, or be a better person, I will consider that worth it. And that is the question. And we're going to talk about this, the Holy Bible. This is where all of the answers are, right here. This is. All the answers are right here. That is why we still have these in courthouses today. Now, really quickly, just asking, how am I doing? I'm doing great. I actually had my anniversary recently, and it was my 5-year anniversary as well. So that was really great. Got to celebrate that. Took some time to chill. It was really good. Other than that, I promise I'm going to keep doing this podcast, and we're going to keep doing this. That is funny. That is very funny. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get to the news here really quickly, because we're going to go ahead and talk about some of these things before we get going. And a big lesson I'm going to teach you guys, and that we're going to talk about, is don't keep things in your life that hurt you. Don't keep things in your life that hurt you. What do I mean when I say that? I mean, I don't want you guys to keep things in your life that are damaging you, that are keeping you away from God, keeping you away from your full potential. Whether that be a friend, whether that be a family member, whether that be an activity, something bad you're doing, whatever is keeping you from God, whatever is keeping you from doing better in your life, you need to cut it out. Whatever that is. Make your new reading the Bible every day. That's what I do. That's what I try to do. Actually, that's not true. I don't read the Bible every day, but I should. Reading the Bible every day is one of the greatest things that you can do. And I lack in it. I'm not going to sit here on this platform and say that I'm some perfect Christian. No, I'm not. I'm a filthy, rotten sinner, just like everyone else. However, I can admit that, and I can admit my faults. I know what's good for me and what's bad for me. And what's bad for me is that I just don't do things in an order that I should, as in I'm not doing things daily. If you want to be good at something, you need to do it daily. When you work out, when we all work out, we do it daily to get better at it, to get stronger. And you need to do that with your faith and with your life in general. Some other news I actually have on here, and we're going to touch back on that. Is there any Xbox players in here? Black Ops 3 is officially 10 years old. Do you guys remember 2015, late 2015, early 2016? You got home from school, we got bullied, you got F on your test. You didn't care because we got to play some Black Ops 3 later. Do you remember that? Those were the days, man. Those were the days. It's so weird because it's like a time period in your life where things are good, but things are also bad. 2016, a lot of people liked it. A lot of people hated it. I don't know. It's a very specific time in your life, and it's a very interesting time because it'll show you, where you take the good and the bad from. You feel me? But other than Black Ops 3, I'm actually going to go ahead and do this. I played through all of Black Ops 7. That's right, the new Black Ops 7 recently. And I wanted to actually give my review really quick on the game because I said I was going to do that. Because if you go on the YouTube, if you go online right now, Everyone is taking a shit right now on Black Ops 3. I'm sorry, Black Ops 7. Black Ops 7 is one of the worst reviewed and the worst launches of all of Call of Duty history. Probably of gaming history, if you really want to think about it. And it's really sad. It pains me. Call of Duty is one of my favorite games of all time. But I wanted to actually, instead of just hating the game without trying it and listening to all your YouTubers shit on the game, I decided I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to have more wisdom. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it for myself. And I will determine if the game is good or not for me. And I did that. And I tried it. And I'm going to be honest. Yes, like the hate it's getting is probably deserved. I hate to say it, but Black Ops 7 really wasn't what it was supposed to be. Black Ops 7 is supposed to be like the Black Ops 2 sequel. Black Ops 7 had David Mason. It was continuing the campaign and the story mode in the mission from Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is arguably, objectively, the greatest Call of Duty of all time. Can I just say that? Is that okay? Can I say that? Black Ops 2 is the best Call of Duty of all time. Best campaign, one of the best campaigns, the best zombies, and absolutely the best multiplayer. It's objectively the best Call of Duty of all time. All right? That is just facts. They had that. They decided to do a Black Ops 7, a Black Ops 2 sequel. They took the characters from Black Ops 2, brought them over to Black Ops 7. They had the ingredients to make a beautiful dessert. They had the chocolate, the cookie dough. They had the brownie batter. They had all the ingredients to make something legendary and incredible and amazing. And they fumbled it. Now, yeah, if you know the lore in Call of Duty Black Ops 2, and if you know the lore with like the Masons and stuff, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to understand it, and you're not going to hate it. But I'm going to be honest with y'all, it's really lackluster. The whole campaign was like free roam. You just run around the whole time in different areas of the big map. And it's, I don't know, they could have done it better. I love the Japanese mission where the stealth when you're on the hijacked. There's a couple missions that aren't bad where you sneak in the ship at the final mission. That was great. Some of it's not bad. It's just I don't know. They just didn't do it. They didn't take advantage of it the way they should. So would I recommend Black Ops 7 to somebody as their first Call of Duty? Oh, no, absolutely not. But if you've been a veteran, a seasoned Call of Duty player, I've been playing since 2008, I think. So, you know, I get to play this game because I understand it and I enjoyed it in a very general sense. But I'm not going to, you know, like, oh, guys, you guys should definitely play this game. Like, no, it's nothing special. And I hate to say it, it's nothing special. Call of Duty needs to go back to releasing a new Call of Duty every year. I'm sorry. Every couple years, okay? Not every year. That's where they're fucking up. Excuse my language. They are being capitalistic pigs coming out with a Call of Duty every single year. Why are we getting Black Ops 6 in 2024? And why are we getting Black Ops 7 in 2025? That should be like a 4 or 5 year difference. Okay? Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So that's what I think Call of Duty needs to do to change. So I just wanted to say that real quick, get that out there. Call of Duty Zombies is meh, and multiplayer isn't horrible because they brought back some maps from Black Ops 2. There's no guns from Black Ops 2 that came back in Black Ops 7. You guys remember in Black Ops 2, like the Scorpion, the MSMC, the DSR, quickscoping? They didn't bring any of that shit back. Like, it's a Black Ops 2 sequel, and you're not going to bring back any of the old guns. You brought back a couple of the old maps, that's great, but, like, a couple of the old characters that were done-ish well, that's fine. But, like, why didn't you bring back any of the guns or, like, anything? It just... Modern Call of Duty suck. Really bad. I'm going to go back to this now. That's the next thing on the notes because I just wanted to do that real quick because I said I was going to do that. We're going to now talk about something very serious, guys. Don't keep things in your life that hurt you. That's how I began this podcast. That's how I began the video. Do not keep things in your life that hurt you. You're probably asking, what is that? What does that mean? I'll tell you exactly what that means. And I'm going to tell you guys a story. Can I say a story? Is that okay, everybody? I'm going to say a story really quick. Okay? And this happened a couple years ago. I'm not going to name names. If I see this person who he actually watches my stuff, so if I see him, I'll tell him I was talking about him. But I'm going to tell you guys a story very quickly. So there was a time period in my life where I wasn't feeling like I had anybody real in my life. Does that make sense? I didn't feel like I had anybody that was like actually, I'm actually going to move this phone here. I didn't see. Christ is perfect. Nobody else is perfect. That is true. Good job, Mighty Mike. Very true. Very true. So, Christ is perfect, but nobody else is. And what I'm about to say proves that, by the way. So, I felt not a lot of friends, not a lot of family in my day-to-day life were real or helped me in a way where if I fell, they would catch me. Okay? Does that make sense? Anything I posted, anything I said out loud, anything that I've ever done, I felt like the people that I thought had my back wouldn't catch me if I fell. I was on Instagram. This was years ago. What I'm about to say is years ago now. A buddy from the gym, very good guy. He's a very good guy. I love him. He posted something on his social media, and I didn't agree with it. I literally didn't even agree with what he was posting, but he posted something, and it went a little viral. People started commenting all this hate, okay? On that post, people were commenting hate. And when I looked at it, and I looked through the comments, there was all of these people defending him. And I looked at them and I was like, who are these people defending him? And I realized that's his family. That's his friends and family from his hometown. So I decided to talk to him. I went up to him and I said, hey man, I realized you posted this. You got a bunch of hate on here. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, who are, and he pulled up his phone and he showed me and said, these are all my family, my cousins, my bros, my friends. And they're all defending me and talking shit to all these people. And I was like, that's crazy. So they all agree with you? He said, no. Half of them don't even like that I posted that. Half of them don't even like that. But they got my back no matter what. Even if they don't agree, they are still going to defend me. Because that's what we are. If they post something and they're getting hate, I'll defend them even if I don't personally agree with them. And I said, that is awesome. That's awesome. That you have a group of people in your life. Not just your wife or your mother, the people around. I'm talking, you have friends, extended family, like you have actual real people in your life that will defend you and love you and fight for you no matter what. I wanted that. It doesn't have to be a big inner circle, but I just want an inner circle where if I fall back, people will catch me. If something is going on, they will help me and catch me. And that means you need real people in your life. And I realized that. A couple years ago because I realized there was multiple people in my life who were calling me friends, who were calling me a best friend, who were calling me family, who would never have caught me if I fell, who, if something horrible happened, they would not care. They would side with whoever's been hating on me. They're fake people. Fake people. And we don't like that. That's gay. We don't like that. That's fake and gay. So instead what we're going to do is instead of that, we are going to have real people in our lives. Real people, not fake people, real people. And instead of having fake family and fake friends around you, have real family and real friends. And that will require you to let some people go from your life. And that's okay. That is totally okay. You can let people go. People come and go from your life all the time. But you need to make sure to keep the real ones and be there for the real ones. You need to make sure of that. Have good people in your life who will help your relationship with God. You need to make sure that you have people in your life that will harden your relationship with God, not fake people. Okay? You have people that will help you in your physical health. You need to make sure to keep people in your life that will help you with your religious health. You need to make sure that you keep people in your life that aren't toxic, that aren't going to drain you. Help them, they help you. That is how the world works. You need to make sure to remove all toxicity from your life. All of it. You can't keep people in your life that are going to drive you further and further away from God and further away from the people who will help you grow closer to God. I had to let go of a lot of people in my life recently because they were not helping me with God. They were not helping me in the gym. They were not helping me in my personal, professional life. They were literally nothing more than snakes. And there's a reason snakes are the deceivers in the first book. Make sure to take all toxicity out of your life. Do not make the same mistakes. If somebody betrayed you so bad, do not let them back in your life. They are just going to do it again. And I promise you there's better people out there. That's the purpose of this podcast. We're going to have these difficult discussions because I'm going to make sure to bring God back into normal conversation. It shouldn't be taboo to talk about God publicly. And if I can even bring one person closer to God or help in any way, shape, or form, even one person, then I will consider my job complete. Next thing we're going to talk about is prayer. Prayer is one of the most important things you can do. Prayer, now yes, you can talk to God whenever you want. And you should. Hey, if you're just driving one day, you want to talk to God, then do it. If you want to talk to God right now, do it. Okay? You don't need to go somewhere to talk to God. Unless you think that's what he's telling you, but you can talk to God whenever you want. But talking to God and praying to God are very different things. When you pray to God, the Bible actually gives us instructions on how to pray to God, and it's very clear. Bible tells you to go in a place where you are all alone, where it's just you and God. Okay? It needs to be very private. Like, yes, you can pray in a group, that's fine, but when you're having your personal prayer with God, it needs to be alone. Because God wants a personal, one-on-one relationship with you. It needs to be alone. It needs to be quiet. Okay? You need to be very quiet. It is very hard to hear God sometimes. I'll admit it, but you can hear him. But you need to be in a quiet place and you need to be alone. You need to be on your knees. You need to give yourself to him. God's not going to walk through the door and say, yo, what's up, bro? How you? No. God is not of this dimension. He's not of this world. God is actually outside of time and space itself. He does not communicate verbally. He communicates in all sorts of mysterious ways. The most common thing I hear from people is that I just don't feel he's real. God doesn't reveal yourself fully to you because he wants faith. If he revealed himself to the world, everybody would believe. And then we would all be robots. But instead, he respects your free will. He wants you to seek him and have a personal relationship with you. And he respects your free will so much that he gives you the choice. Believe in me and spend eternity with me in heaven, or it is your choice. I respect your free will. If you do not want to be with me, you can live the rest of eternity separate of me. And it is your choice. It's all your choice. Now, we're also going to move on to, I did want to mention this real quick before we get down to the rankings, because it's something that it's pressing on me, because as someone who exercises every single day, who's completely natural, I've never taken a steroid in my life. I've taken weight gainer protein shake. I've taken creatine. That's not a steroid. So I kept thinking, like, will I ever go on steroids or TRT? No. Is it possible I could in the future, especially if my doctor tells me to go on TRT? Possibly. But will I ever take like Tren or some horrifying steroid that's gonna kill me and make me a completely different person? No. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just seeing a lot of people go on steroids these days. And it's upsetting me. And it's upsetting me because I was able to gain 100 pounds. Actually, more. I've gained more than 100 pounds of muscle in like 3 years of working out naturally. So when I see these high schoolers going on TRT, it's like, dude, why? You are literally going to permanently screw up your body and your gains for the rest of your life. Just do it naturally, man. Like, why? I don't care if you have crappy genetics. You can do it naturally. There was an incident at my gym. This guy took a plate, slammed it on the floor, and it cracked the concrete floor, which the gym had to fix, all because he roid raged on me because I left one plate on the bench. One plate on the bench each side. Something normal, something everybody does in every single gym in the entire universe. And yeah. And that really opened my eyes. That opened my eyes a lot because that made me realize this is a problem. Like, steroids, especially Tren and like the really bad roids it's horrifying. Like, I think we should make it illegal, to be honest. Yeah, like, it's healthy to go on TRT if you're an old man, but why are we going on it now? It doesn't, like before you even hit your max. Because these guys, you need to hit your peak before you take steroids. There's a peak. Like, there's a point where, you work out so hard and your body's so buff, and there's a point where a peak where you literally cannot get any buffer. Then you start experimenting with like a little bit of TRT. That is what made sense to me. And that's what made sense to all the other bodybuilders and Mr. Olympias in the world. However, nobody does that because they just hop on TRT when they're 18 in high school and they failed their 2-plate bench. Maybe the TRT helps them get to like a 275 bench press while I'm a natty here and I'm about to bench 4 plates. It makes no sense. It's like, I don't understand what gets in people's minds to make them think that that is the best alternative to do. I don't get it. I don't get it. Stay off steroids until you hit your peak. Okay? Everyone hear me? Okay. What's the best movie franchise you've ever heard of? Is it Lord of the Rings? Is it maybe Avengers? Is it Batman? What is it? I'll tell you what mine is. And it's Star Wars. Star Wars is the greatest franchise that has ever been created. It's been inspired by multiple different things, and the entire production of it is just, there's nothing like it. The fact it came out in the 70s and things are still coming out today is a miracle, and it's insane. It is incredible. And we are actually I'm going to do this really quick and then we're going to get to the questions. I wanted to do this real quick because I actually really, really wanted to rank the Star Wars films and wanted to dip my hat into the Star Wars content on YouTube because there are some opinions out there that are just pure crap. Okay? Like, I'm not going to be one of those guys saying, oh, Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars of all time, bro. It's not. Okay? It's not even close. Like, I don't understand where Empire even became, like, the fan favorite Star Wars movie. It's yeah, you're going to see where I put it. You're going to be pissed off. So, I'm not going to be ranking any of, like, the newer stuff. Like I'm ranking all live action. I'm not ranking Rebels. I'm not ranking any of like the anime shows. I am gonna rank Clone Wars on this list, but I'm not gonna rank like anything else on here. So I'm only ranking movies and I'm ranking live action shows. At number 18, the worst Star Wars project of all time, the absolute worst of the worst. This movie was horrible. I am a very optimistic guy. When I go to see movies, I walk out thinking, oh, all right, that's cool. Yeah, all right, whatever. This movie was on God. Lord is my witness. When I saw this movie, I walked out of the theater thinking that was the shittiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And you can quote me, and I never do that. It has been so few amount of times in my life where I've actually walked out of a movie and thought that was the shittiest movie I ever saw. At number 18, the worst Star Wars project of all time, it's The Rise of Skywalker, Episode 9. It came out in 2019, I think. Seriously, it was so bad. The plot was all over the place. Horrible ending, horrible beginning, horrible lightsaber fight, horrible story. Literally horrible. The best part of the movie was like, I guess Han Solo came back, but I don't really like Han Solo, so that didn't. And Kylo Ren redeemed himself, cool. Kylo Ren is the best part of all of the sequel trilogy. There's not a single character they did correctly in that entire thing. So Rise of Skywalker is like Episode 9, legitimately the worst Star Wars project that was ever created. The worst ending ever. They never explained why they brought back Palpatine or how they did. They never explained how Finn was force sensitive. They never, like, everything was just such a mess. It was a mess. It was horrible, terrible, terrible, terrible. And that was one of the very few movies in my life where I literally walked out thinking, what the hell did I just watch? That there was like no good parts in it. And Rey's not a fucking Skywalker. Rey's a Palpatine, and she should have died. Kylo Ren should have lived, and then Kylo Ren could have started going on a journey of redeeming himself. You had that, and you screwed it up. And they should have made The Hunt for Ben Solo. They should have made that with Adam Driver. Disney denied it. They're just gay, I guess. Number 17, the other second to worst project is Andor. And I'm going to be honest, I saw the community actually like not hate this show. Andor wasn't horrible. It just wasn't for me. There's no Jedis. It was just kind of war and I don't know. It was boring. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not going to totally shit on Andor. I just didn't even like Rogue One that much. So I don't know. Kind of meh. Kind of meh. That's all that is. Number 16 is Solo. Solo, look, I'm going to be honest. I wasn't very a big fan of Han Solo to begin with. I thought he was kind of meh already. I liked Luke. When I was a kid, I didn't like Han Solo that much at all, really. But I will say, though, making a Han Solo movie had the recipe of it was good. Like, because the community really liked Han Solo. It was the community's favorite character. So them making a solo Han Solo movie had the recipes for a success. Unfortunately, they chose an actor that didn't look like Han Solo or Harrison Ford at all. And the movie just flew kind of weird. I don't know. It just felt very weird. That's the best thing. The best part of the movie was Darth Maul at the end. Other than that, like, the movie was just boring. The plot just felt weird. The characters didn't really leave a lasting impression. It just really wasn't anything that special, to be honest. So I hate to do it, but Solo, number 16. Number 15, right behind that, is going to be Rogue One. And I know what all of you are going to say. I'm going to get hate, especially from my friends, for doing this. But Rogue One, I didn't necessarily enjoy. Characters were okay. Story was like fine, lowercase f. But like, other than the Darth Vader stuff, I just didn't really see it as anything too special. I thought Rogue One was very lackluster, I would say. Like, would I rather watch Andor or Rogue One? Definitely Rogue One, but it's better than Solo in the thing that it will still entertain you, as in they actually did a good characterization with it. And this was actually very brave, and this is where I give Rogue One credit. Star Wars never released any other projects other than the episodes. This was the first movie they did where it was like its own, like a separate project. So I have a lot of respect for Rogue One, and I think they did do well with it. It just isn't really my cup of tea. Nothing I would really watch again, to be honest. Number 14, Book of Boba Fett. We were all so excited for the Boba Fett show. And first off, I don't know why they called it Book of Boba Fett. Do you guys even remember a book being in the show? I don't. I don't know why they called it Book of. They could have just called it Boba Fett and it would have been fine, right? I don't know why they included book. That just pisses me off in itself. The show was fine. Cad Bane was really cool. The story was actually pretty good. These are like going to be newer things that like aren't exactly my cup of tea, but they are still things that in the show that really like all right, I'm going to say it. I don't like the actor who played Boba Fett. I thought he didn't look like anything like Boba did when he was a kid. When he was in Clone Wars, he had like longer-ish hair and, you know, like this guy just doesn't scream Boba Fett to me. This guy just screams like a random Mandalorian. Like, I don't know. Literally, Pedro Pascal could probably play a more accurate lore version of Boba Fett than the Boba Fett that we actually got. And I hate to say that. I'm not the biggest Pedro Pascal fan at all, but I hate to say it. But yeah, show is mid. Show is meh. I'd rather watch that before I watch Rogue One. So that's, yeah. Number 13 is Force Awakens. Now, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi are movies that I can kind of intertwine. Some days I like Last Jedi better. Some days I like Force Awakens better. We can all agree that The Rise of Skywalker is the shittiest of all of them. But still, Force Awakens wasn't horrible. It was a great start. It was a really good start to the sequel trilogy. I think it's still like the top 5 or top 3 most highest grossing movies of all time. People were interested. People liked it. People were excited for it. I think where they messed up and where they really messed up all of the sequel trilogy is they made Rey the Jedi. And that's retarded. They should have made Finn the Jedi. They should have made Finn the Jedi instead of Rey. Finn had the best story. He was a stormtrooper, and then he was force sensitive. He broke out. He became a Jedi. That literally would have been so much better than what this weird, stupid Rey story we have, okay? Finn should have been the Jedi, not Rey, okay? Okay. All right. Next, number 12 is going to be The Last Jedi. And like I said, they're interchangeable, okay? Some days Last Jedi I like better. Some days I like Force Awakens better. But I actually have a soft spot for The Last Jedi. I think, obviously, I fundamentally disagree with everything they did with Luke. Luke should have been the hero, and I guess he was, but being a hermit, being like a angry old man wanting to die, like, no, that's not Luke, you know? I didn't agree with that. I don't like that. I think they should have changed that. But, you know, it is what it is. But I will say, though, I did I did really, really enjoy the final battle. I thought the final battle in Last Jedi was really good with Luke and Kylo. I mean, I don't care that lightsabers didn't touch. I personally don't care, but I mean, it was a really good moment. People were crying. It was a good moment. It was a good moment. And there are really good parts to the film. Half of it, I'll say, because half of it's kind of brain rot of like some stupid side plot that nobody cares about. All right, number 11 is going to be The New Hope. This is my least favorite of the OG trilogy because I'm going to be honest, like, it's iconic. I'll give it that. It's very iconic. It is rewatchable. There's just not a lot going on in it in terms of the Jedis and in terms of like just a couple different things. There's just certain things I would change in it. So that's that. I don't know. Not much to say about New Hope. I respect it. I loved it as a kid. It's just not necessarily my goatee. And that's why actually number 12, or I'm sorry, not number 12, number 10, we're actually getting to number 10 now, is Empire. Empire is a better movie actually than New Hope, and I hate to say it, but what I will say is that it's not necessarily like the lightsabers battle is better. There's more iconic stuff in like Luke training on Dagobah, or the whole Hoth battle scene was really great. Again, it's still just nothing too crazy. Like, I don't get why it's so overhyped. I didn't even like Cloud City. I don't understand why people loved it so much. Empire is really not anything too crazy. Sorry. Now, these are getting to the really good movies, okay, and the shows. These are top 10 material. These are all the good ones. Number 9 is The Acolyte. Before you hate me, listen to me. Yes, the two black girls who are twins. That was stupid. They should just take that all out. That was like the dumbest story of all time. Master Soul, the Jedi, perfect, great. All the Jedis, and even the story was great. The villain, the stranger, Quemir, beautifully written. They literally need to remake Acolyte Season 2 and only bring him back, and it will make $1 billion. He did incredible. I'm a huge fan of him, huge fan of the actor, huge fan of the character. The Acolyte was great because he was in it and the Quemir story. Other than that, the show was ass. But seriously, The Acolyte, I am fighting for a season 2 because I want more of the stranger. I don't care about any other character, to be honest, except him. So that's that. Number 8, Ahsoka. Everyone knows Ahsoka. The lightsaber battles were incredible in Ahsoka. They were literally, seriously. And I really don't understand why the Ahsoka gets so much hate. I thought the actor did really great. I thought all the actors in the show did great. I loved the villain. I loved how they actually included rebels, and they had a bunch of throwbacks to the Clone Wars too. Anakin came back. Some of the best modern lightsaber fights we have ever seen is in Ahsoka. And they're going to make a season 2, and I'm very excited for it. And I think it's actually coming out this year. So keep an eye out for that. Number 7 is Attack of the Clones. Now we're getting the prequels. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not a big fan of Attack of the Clones. I think it's the weakest entry in the prequels. I don't know. They're like, Count Dooku's incredible. Anakin did incredible. Obi-Wan was okay. Like, it's very unique, but it just isn't exactly my cup of tea. Some of the greatest lightsaber fights ever, though, and a best story ever, that really started episode 3. It's like a prequel to episode 3. Episode 3 is obviously going to be like top 3, but it's a good like prenup to episode 3. And everyone knows episode 3 is like the best of all time. So, but we'll get to that. Number 6 is Mandalorian. The only complaint I have with Mandalorian is that there's a lot of fillers. A lot of fillers. And they could have wrapped up the show in like 6-7 episodes. I don't think they should have done, like 12, 18 episodes each one. I think that was a little much. It's a little much. But other than that, I actually really liked the show. It was really good, and I remember even those filler episodes were still really good. Like phone down, you're actually watching, you're intrigued, and there's a lot of cool visuals. I really like Mandalorian. So that's number 6. Number 5 is going to be Clone Wars. OG and new, all incredible TV. Even the fillers are good. I have never watched a TV show in my life where I'm literally like it just continuously gets better and better and better. Season 1 was good. Season 2 was better. Season 3 was better. Like Clone Wars just got better and better. Seriously. Like yeah, the new season they came out with like a couple years ago was kind of shite, but other than that, original Clone Wars was incredible. I loved it, man. Loved it. I would highly recommend to anybody. And it's an adult show. It's not even a kid show. People are getting their heads cut off and stuff. It's not even like a kiddie fun show like I thought way back in the day. Number 4 is Obi-Wan Kenobi. A perfect, like I said, Attack of the Clones is a perfect prequel for episode 3. Obi-Wan Kenobi is a perfect sequel to episode 3. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I mean, you got to see Obi-Wan's reaction to Darth Vader. We got to see 2 fights with him and Darth Vader. You know, we got to see the Inquisitors too, and they did really well. They actually did really well. I really like the Inquisitors. Yeah, it was actually a really good show. There was no fillers. It was drawn out in a perfect way to where there's not a lot, but there's not little. Obi-Wan Kenobi was a perfect show. It was perfect. The final battle could have been a little better. Maybe in a better location. Other than that, it was perfect. Qui-Gon at the end. They need to make an Obi-Wan season 2. Bring him and Darth Maul fight again. I am fighting for that, and I really need that to happen. Maybe I'll die at peace knowing that happens. Number 3. That's his top 3. And this is Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi is my favorite OG trilogy movie. I mean, you have the fight with Jabba. You have the fight on Endor. You have Ewoks. You have Darth Vader fight at the end. You have, like, everything going on. It is seriously a perfect movie. You get to see Luke finally become a master Jedi. Yeah. It had some of the best action, the best story, the best reveals, everything. I loved Return of the Jedi. It was always my favorite as a kid. So much iconic stuff in there. Oh, I love it. I can rewatch Return of the Jedi anytime I want. In fact, I might soon. Number 2 is Revenge of the Sith. For obvious reasons. Do I even have to explain myself? Best fights, best everything, man. Literally, best story. It's a tragedy. There's also some humor in there. There's politics in there. There's, oh my God, everything. Everything you can ask for in a movie and in a Star Wars movie is in this movie. Revenge of the Sith is one of the greatest films ever created of all time in all of film history. Revenge of the Sith. And I don't even need to explain myself. You all know why. And obviously, number 1, I'm going to have to explain myself, and I'm really sorry. Episode 1, Phantom Menace. Guys, I love Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon, Liam Neeson, he's my favorite Jedi. So, I loved him. I loved his character. I loved his defiance. I loved his action scenes. Darth Maul, greatest villain of all time. One of them, if not Vader, then Darth Maul. And I love Naboo. It's very beautiful there. I love the characters there. Really great. And I really just love episode 1. I can rewatch episode 1 any day of the week. That is my favorite Star Wars movie. And you need to go back and rewatch it if you don't. There's some beautiful moments in there. I don't know why everyone hates it for the memes. I'm not putting it here for the meme. I'm putting it because I'm serious. Episode 1 is my favorite Star Wars film and project of all time. Well, now that that's over, let's go ahead and get down to your guys' questions so we can end this stream before an hour. This is from Alex. What's the one exercise you hate more than anything? That is going to be bicep curls. I hate biceps. I hate training biceps. Biceps are gay and fake and dumb. You either genetically have them or you don't. That's it. So I don't like bicep curls. I hate bicep exercises. I rather do cardio. I rather do abs. Biceps. 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 I'd rather work out my forearms and my hand muscles doing the gripper before I do freaking biceps. Not a fan of biceps. I love triceps though, but I hate biceps. This question is from Ace. Would I ever compete in a bodybuilding or powerlifting show? The answer to that is no. I will never compete in a bodybuilding show. Bodybuilding is fake and gay, and powerlifting is cool. I just don't like the commands. They tell you when to start, when to go, how long to pause. I don't like that. I don't like that. Would I do a powerlifting, like a local powerlifting show? Maybe. But am I ever going to do a bodybuilding show? Absolutely not. Steven asks, are you going to address Aaron Glaze? If you know, you know. I'm not going to bring him up, but I will say pro wrestling is fake, but it's also not. You know, if you are treating it like a real fight and you are actually hurting people, you're dangerous, and I don't want to work with you. So, dangerous. I don't do well with dangerous pro wrestlers. So, yeah, like we are putting each other's lives on the line, and you're gonna be dangerous and try to actually hurt people. That doesn't make you cool to do dangerous stuff. It just makes you a retard. So yeah, I'm never working with him again. Final question. Jesus asks, would you consider the deadlift the king of the lifts? I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say bench press. Because with a deadlift, that like you could use your legs, you could round your back, you could get more weight up. I don't consider deadlifting a good tool of your overall strength. I would say bench and squat. Squatting will tell you exactly how powerful your legs are. Bench will tell you how powerful your upper body is. So bench and squat. If you tell me those, I'll know where you're at in your lifting journey. Other than that, that's going to be the Wayne's World podcast. Wow, we went over a lot. Maybe we'll do less next time. We're at the 47 mark now. So thank you so much, guys, for viewing. And I'll be doing this soon. Maybe in next week or 2 or 3. I don't know. Whatever. But anyways, remember, believe in God, trust in God, pray today, read your Bible today, and you will be better. And if you ever need any help with anything, whether it be bodybuilding, powerlifting, anything in the gym, your diet, if you need any help with God, getting closer with God, being a better person, or anything, getting closer with God or your family, anything, I am here for you. You can DM me at my public Instagram, JacobMFWayne, and I will respond. Anyways, thank you guys for viewing.